Good evening, Jai Hind, Vande Mataram, Har Har Mahadev. Welcome to today's live discussion, friends. This discussion will mainly focus on artificial intelligence, machine learning, data analytics, and the implications on humans and our future. Today's discussion will be in English, and I would urge Hindi audiences to bear with me. I cannot do this lecture in Hindi today, so I will try to keep it in English only. In future, maybe we can have this discussion in Hindi also. So I'm looking forward to those who are interested in joining this live discussion on this very sensitive topic, and we have to dive deep into this to understand what is the agenda behind it, why it is being implemented, what is the benefits, what are the uh, harms that can be caused due to AI and all those things. So we will try to cover up various aspects of this issue. And we and my approach has always been to look it from different angles, from a holistic point of view, from a 360 degree point of view. So let's see what comes out of it. So those who are willing to join must introduce themselves, though those who are new to the channel or those who are new to the discussion, they must introduce themselves in the chat. And once you introduce yourself, I will share the StreamYard link with you. Right. Uh, so, so as usual, there is nobody who is interested to join. So I will have to carry forward this discussion on my own and draw my own conclusions. Uh, One more thing I want to clarify again and again, I have to do this, that a lot of people think, lot of means a very few people who watch this channel, who watch my content, they think why this fellow does not have many subscribers, why this channel is not growing in subscriber base, and why there are nobody who joins the live discussion. So as a matter of policy and as a matter of confidentiality, I keep myself low profile because I know the consequences of what I am speaking. This and I am a very a simple person who does not have those kind of muscle flexing powers to protect myself. So I cannot withstand the agenda, whatever is being implemented. So I have to keep myself low profile and work according to my own limitations. And that is the reason why I am trying to educate only those who are serious about, learning and cooperating and taking this mission forward. So the mission is to save humanity. Mission is to expose the dark secrets of the very powerful, the most powerful networks across the globe on the planet Earth. So it's not easy fighting them. So friends, let me start by talking about artificial intelligence. Now, this artificial intelligence is nothing but uh, computers being given the powers of humans. How the human brain thinks, works, how the body functions, that is closely observed and that is translated into programmings. And in such programmings, the computer starts mimicking the human behavior, human patterns, and slowly it starts developing and refining those patterns. So it starts programming itself. That is called artificial intelligence. Like humans also learn by observing, listening, memorizing and all those things, and slowly with practice, humans also have natural intelligence. Their brain has a natural intelligence, starts picking up things. And and with time and with focused attention, the human body is capable of doing miraculous works. So same as with computers. Now computers is basically a machine, so it does not have emotions, it does not have all the deficiencies a human has. So artificial intelligence was introduced to the world by the very powerful people who control this world. We know them by various names. Somebody calls them Illuminati, somebody calls them Rothschild, Rockefellers, somebody calls them by Khazarian Mafia, the various, somebody calls them by Jesuits. So there are various groups, various people, various nefarious agendas which work out. So I just want to tell them that I just want to tell you all, sorry. So you can pick up any of the names which I have given and take the take this as a base case of implementing artificial intelligence. Now, artificial intelligence is linked to machine learning, and this machine learning is linked to data. So the machine is programmed to pick up the data, and this data is fed to the machine, and it keeps on improvising. So this data is coming from humans, and that is very dangerous. The agenda is, so all these three combined. If you combine all these three, then artificial intelligence replaces humans in most of the life aspects. Like suppose now the computers have been programmed to the have been introduced in the cars, in the buses, in the vehicles, and this computer chips is being now fitted with cameras and everything. So with artificial intelligence, like let me give you an example of Tesla car. So with artificial intelligence, with data, with our biometric data, and with our machine learning uh, capability, the artificial intelligence software is able to upgrade and run the car on its own. So Tesla car can be automatically programmed in such a way that it replaces the driver. And now everybody is working on those models. Google is all working, and many people are working. Many big giants corporations are working in those fields. So once this is perfected, once this technology is perfected by artificial intelligence and all the data is there, what do you think will happen? The flip side, the plus side is that there will be very few accidents because of human error, because the computers and all those will not face fatigues, they will not be alcoholic, they will not be drinking, and all those blah blah blah. So it will be free of human error, and most of the accidents are done by due to human error. So that is the plus point. So there will be less accidents, less violence, less killings, less deaths. and uh, less financial stress, less burden on the insurance companies, and so on and so on. But what is the other side? What are the negative sides of this? So the negative side is that millions and millions of people will lose their jobs. Imagine a city, a big city. There are millions of vehicles in a city, and there are at least uh, you know 100,000 to maybe 500,000 drivers. So what will happen to those drivers? Will they not lose their jobs? They will definitely. And once a person loses jobs, the whole family comes under a trouble. So suppose that one person is earning, he's supporting a family of three or four at least. So what will happen to them? So they will lose their job. That skill is gone because that skill has been replaced. The skill of driving has been replaced by computers, has been replaced by the artificial intelligence software, by the machine learning, and the data helps them. And the data will be now the second part. This is one big negative aspect. Second aspect is with artificial intelligence, with all the data, the company, let's say Tesla, has knowledge about who owns this car, who drives this car, who drives in the sense who you know who travels in the car. Their all data, their biometric data will be available with the company. They will know from which point to which point that person, he or she, goes daily, commutes. Suppose suppose you have a Tesla car, you park it in your house. With the data, they know your location with the GPS location. They also know that with the fingerprint scanner, you open the car. They know that with the AI, with the data, that you drive from this place to this place and at this time to this time daily. Let's suppose you travel from your office, from your home to your office. So just a second. So with that, the Tesla company knows each and every detail of yours. Where do you stop the car? Where do you buy your food? Where do you go for grocery shopping? When each and every detail is known to them. Now that data can be utilized in many ways. They can use the camera to track down your activity. They can use their data to track down your uh, work location, your social profiling. So everything comes under that. They know all those things. Now, all these things have also been introduced in our mobiles. So our mobiles have also become a big threat for us because all our data is being tracked by these application softwares, by these machine learning softwares and the AI software. So they are tracking our data and everything, and that will be used in future or is being used to manipulate us in many ways. I can only just give you certain hints. Now, now in our countries, in India especially, we have this digital numbering system called the Aadhaar card, where they have taken our biometric data. They have taken our thumb impressions, our fingerprint impressions, our retina um, details, and they have given us a digital ID. Now this is a slavery system, Aadhaar card. So with Aadhaar card, they have linked everything, your bank accounts, And in future, once the AI model is completed, what will happen is with artificial intelligence, they will be able to track each and every transaction of ours. And once that is done, they will introduce central bank digital currencies. So the agenda is one world government, which has been, constantly been repeated and being fed to us. But problem is nobody is there to highlight what is the motive behind it, why this is being, what is the hidden agenda, and media and the bootlickers and the gatekeepers of political parties, these goons, chamchas of fake Hindutva parties or fake everything is fake. So all these fake people, they don't want you to know the real agenda because they are also going to face the consequences, and they are facing. But just because they are now getting a lot of social media attention, some money, and some political clout, so these touts are now, very, they are on the top of the mountain. They think, "Arey, हमने तो बहुत achieve कर लिया. We have done marvelous work," and because of that, everybody is suffering. Like in America, you have the Democrats and the Republicans. They keep on fighting. Now, this model has been created by the Illuminati to divide the people, and once people are divided, they rule it. So once the Democrats become stronger, they will support the Republicans. When the Republicans become stronger, they'll support the Democrats, and they'll make sure that each of them fight with each other, and not realizing that the common people, the common person suffers. They plant their puppets everywhere, and these puppets work for them. And we feel, we watch the puppet show, we laugh, we get entertained, and we feel, oh, these puppets are real and they're really fighting, while it is not the case. And now I have explained all those things in detail in my past videos hundreds of times, but nobody is interested to listen, and those who listen also, they don't even have the brains to understand what is what. And there's hardly anybody who is even interested to do something about it. They all keep on back bitching about this fellow, that fellow, and all those. They don't care for their own lives. So what can be done? So what I'm trying to tell you now in terms of artificial intelligence, once your data is there, now this Aadhaar card has been linked, what will you do? You can't do anything, because in future what will happen is, if you don't obey to the government, they'll make you slaves. Once you become a slave, you have to obey the orders of the government. So the government, like I tell you, I'll just give you an example. Now this Aadhaar card system was first proposed by Kiran Bedi in her talk in her public appearances on NDTV and other channels. I'm talking about 2010, 2011. So she kept on insisting, oh, America has that digital numbering system for each and every person. They are able to track, and once that comes, then the crime rates will reduce and everything will be properly done, taken care of. Falana, Dimka, this, that, that, blah, blah, blah. And they copied the Western model, the American model. Now Americans are already a slave. America is not a country; it's a corporation where the American citizens are just the uh, they're not even citizens, they are just numbers to be subtracted. So so these American slaves can't do anything about it. Now the same model was introduced everywhere, in Asia, in India, in everywhere, in every country. And what happened was, this Aadhaar card was brought in. It was forcefully fed to us by the Congress party, and BJP and our Gujju Feku Dhokla used to oppose that. No, no, Aadhaar card should not be introduced. But once he came to power in 2014, I clearly remember within 2 months he changed his position. Till 2013, till 2014 January February, He was saying, no, 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 Aadhaar card will not be introduced, and this and that, blah, blah, blah. And once he came to power, he immediately changed his stand. And he even pushed the agenda forward. What he did was he forcefully made sure that everybody takes the Aadhaar card and it is linked to the bank account. It is linked to your gas connection because LPG subsidy used to be given. So all the middle class and the lower middle class used to you was forced to take the Aadhaar card because if you don't have an Aadhaar card and if it is not linked to your bank account, they will not give you subsidy. So in the trap of giving subsidy, they introduced it. And all this Aadhaar card data is available on the dark web. It has been stolen. It has been passed on to the original this satanic forces who are behind the curtains, who the dark forces who are controlling the whole show. Now in 2020, after that corona, that fake pandemic, they have even taken away the subsidy, and now this LPG cylinder costs 1200 rupees, which used to cost us 300 or 400 rupees in 2014. So this is how they have, cheated the people. Now most of you will say, "Arey, no, 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 our country is growing, our economy is growing, blah blah blah." So all these fake chamchas and bootlickers and this, goons of jihadi party, big jihadi party, BJP. You understand that, right? Big jihadi party. So these goons, keep, try to argue with you fake silly arguments. So you should not fall into the trap of this all these silly arguments. But problem is most of the people don't have that much brains to understand and analyze things. Anyway, so this is how similarly now they have introduced these digital systems of payments, and this digital system payments is again going to cause a lot of problems, but nobody is ready to interested to listen to take the courage of fighting against it, because everybody wants to make money. We all have become slaves to the same system, which you know which enslaves us. Somebody are enslaved by force, somebody are enslaved by deceit, somebody are enslaved by uh, greed. So all this, like in Hindi we say sam dam dandaved, so they are using all the four tactics to entrap us and enslave us. But only the dharmic warriors, the dharmic uh, practitioners will come out of it, not the rest of the world. Rest are going to suffer, because if you follow dharma, if you follow your dharma, then nothing can come in between you and your creator. So as an atma, we have to see to it that we follow the rules of the Paramatma. So Paramatma has given us dharma, and we have to follow dharma. So which is what I am doing. But in this Kali Yuga world, it is very difficult to follow dharma, and that is why nobody wants to listen and you know fight adharma. Anyway, so with artificial intelligence, what will happen is millions of people will lose jobs. Now this artificial intelligence will come in many industries. So I give you an example of driverless car. Without drivers, there'll be cars running. Now this artificial intelligence will replace a lot of photographers. You don't need a professional photographers, you don't need a professional videographer. So many things will come, and slowly, lot of jobs will be gone. And soon, with artificial intelligence, all these universities, these schools, colleges, they all will close down. Everything will be taught on social media platforms or in private video tutorials, which can be referred again and again and again, and people will make money out of it. and all this is being done deliberately to make the human population suffer. Once you are out of job, you don't have money, you're vulnerable, you will follow the dictates of your government. And once you follow the dictates of your government, they will manipulate you to signing the contract of your own tyranny, of your own sufferings. Basically, it's a suicidal model. So they'll entrap you into your own suicide, and that is why you see a lot of people are getting trapped and getting killed. The same model they have adopted in that COVID-19 pandemic, that fake pandemic period. They entrapped us. They forcefully made us to sit at our homes, and they destroyed the jobs. And all this was a grand plan. And the consequences now we are starting to feel. Now, slowly and slowly, the inflation is rising, and once the cost of living becomes beyond the means of each and every person, it will be very difficult. And so, what will happen? There'll be a lot of civil wars, and a lot of political unrest, a lot of social unrest, a lot of things are happening. But that undercurrent is not being felt. We are just sitting and enjoying our life as if nothing matters to us, unless and until it comes to us. So this is the foolishness of every human being. But what can be done anyway? So once once the jobs are gone, now these banks jobs will also go. You are seeing American banks are collapsing, European banks are collapsing, Indian banks have collapsed, many Indian banks have collapsed. But all those things are not being reported. These regional small banks, they will also shut shop sooner or later. And again, millions of people will lose jobs. And the life will become miserable for each of us. Anyway, so what I want to tell you is, it is in the long run very harmful for us. AI is not going to help us. It is a big trouble, which is a big storm, big tsunami which is coming. And sadly, unfortunately, people are not realizing, they are not united, they are not interested to, fight back. I hardly get anybody to, who is interested in all those things. But there is hope. I have faith in God, and I pray to Bhagwan Krishna that please guide us. Please at least guide Eve Jivatma, especially the human Jivatma, to, towards you. So, with that note, what I'll do is I'll end my show. And unfortunately, there's nobody today live, and nobody has put a question, and nobody has joined the session. So, what I'll do is I'll end the session. And maybe in the future, if I get a proper audience and if somebody is interested, we'll take this discussion forward. Till then, keep yourself occupied, do your meditation, and try to ponder over my thoughts with a calm mind. You will realize that what I'm saying is a big threat to humanity. So, with that note, I will end my session and see you in the next videos. So, Jai Hind, Vande Mataram, take care. Good night. Shubh Ratri.